in the Zulu olden days, you'll find that, let's just say, a woman is married to maybe the second born, or let's just say maybe the firstborn of the family, and he can't have kids. You know what they'll do? The family, and it will be a secret that will be kept forever. Nobody would ever know. They will take the younger brother or the second brother to that man, and then the brother would sleep with the woman, and they will have kids, and they will take it to the grave. The man would never know.
Hello everyone out there, you're welcome to your favorite podcast show called TIT4TAT with your boy KB, and well, I'm not here alone today as usual. I'm here with a pretty lady here, Thembi. Okay, cool. Thembi, please introduce yourself to people before we tell them what we have today.
Hi everyone, my name is Thembi, and obviously, as you said, I'm the friend to the show. Thank you for having me today. Let's get into it.
Okay, cool. I think it's going to be a very fun one today, guys. Okay, cool. So today we're talking friendship. Friendship everywhere. And then, I think we should start by this though, because a lot of friendship is a topic that everyone knows about. So it's not new to anyone and all that. So to you, what's your own definition of friendship? Who do you call a friend?
Well, that's a very interesting question because I think it took me a while to understand the deep meaning of friendship. Because growing up, I used to be that girl with so many friends. Like my mom would complain, I see so many different faces, so different people from different kind of background. So I remember one thing she said to me, that a person with so many friends, she defined it, my mother, as a hypocrite. Because she felt that why do you have friends there and the friends there and friends there? That means
you're trying to be good
you are trying to be good with everybody everywhere. And then it took me like 2 or maybe a decade and a half to understand the deep meaning of friendship. That not everybody is your friend, but it takes 1 or 2 or 3 people that have a deeper meaning, than just having a lot of groups or a lot of individual that we call friends. Because it's easy for us to just use the word loosely, friends. But now, it goes deeper than that.
Well, I think I reason with what you said, your mom said. Well, like they always say anyway, old people never go wrong. Mm-hmm. But the thing is this now, right? Okay, if we're talking about that, so are you saying now she says not everybody's allowed to be in your circle? Is that what she meant by not everyone is allowed to be called your friend?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to interpret that in my head.
Yeah, not really. It as I've said, it took me a while to understand it. Her meaning was that you can't fit everywhere like money. You understand? Not everybody's going to love you like money. So now if you're going to fit, maybe let's just say in a circle of people that like certain type of wine. Okay. Now you have friends that enjoy a certain type of fruits. We've got friends who enjoy a certain type of lifestyle. You can't fit everywhere. That means that when you're with these people, you have to be a different person. With these people, you have to be a different person. Sure. This group of friends, you have to be a different person. That means you don't know where you fit exactly. You can't fit in every jar. You can't close every door. So that means you're that type of a friend. That means there's something wrong with you. That was a definition, and that bothered me to say no, but I'm not that person. I'm a bubbly person. Everybody likes Thembi, so I thought at that particular time. Until now, I became an older person and understood exactly I can't fit with everybody. So it's surprisingly that as a child that had about 30 friends, now I only have 1 friend.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think maybe I should also say tell my own part of the whole thing though. Mm-hmm. Well, to me, I think friendship is or someone you can call a friend is that person who always has your back. Mm-hmm. Always has your back day in, day out. And I promise you, man, if you look at the whole thing, I don't think you can ever get somebody that will have your back fully, 100%. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Like they will always say, the only person in this world who will take your nonsense over and over again is your mom. Mm-hmm. Because she raised you. Yeah. So definitely, and while growing up, she mm-hmm. knows what you've been through. She knows how you've lived your life and all that. So even when you go out there, you make mistakes, you can still come back, Mom,
I messed up
again. I messed up again. She'll still be like, it's okay. rocky life.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Then you move
understand?
on.
And then you still move on.
Exactly.
You understand? So then, does that now mean we can call your mom your friend?
It happens. It depends on the close relationship that you have. For instance, with me and my mom, we're not really that close because she was a very strict parent. And me being this Tembi who's all over the place, who's rowdy, who's going, who love friends. I grew up, as I said, I grew up loving friends. But I will take it to a different stage whereby to say that with my dad, then I would pick up friendship, because now with daddy I can say, okay, I can talk to him about anything. I can, I was very close to my dad. I was just a daddy's girl. So I could easily talk to my dad about simple things like a boy who just did something to me, a boy who's chasing me, a friend who's...
Are you free to say
exactly,
that?
to my dad.
And
exactly.
he will listen?
He will listen and he'll give me advice. To a point where he say that if he started, fighting with you, I will even teach you how to box. You just have to be strong. You have to be a strong girl.
And like they always say though, only a man will know the tricks other men out there use.
So he knew better.
I think it's cool. It was cool that you have him there. For him to answer. Okay, fine now. So if a boy says this or if a guy says this, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
he taught me a lot of things that certain things I'm not even going to share, but like very deep stuff that I will be able to share with my dad. So I relate to him as a father, as a friend. He was everything to me. Unfortunately, he's passed on. And those were me during my teen years, and then unfortunately he died when I was still a teen. Entering my early 20s, I was still trying to define or figure out exactly what a friend was. And then it took until I became in my 30s to understand the kind of friend that I want. And also we must bear in mind that it's easy for us to pick up a friend that you want, but then what kind of a friend are you to that friend that you want? So when I reached my 30s, and then I would be like, you know what? I'm this type of a person. I'm always there for people. I'm always, if a friend calls me at 12 in the morning, I will be there. If a friend needs something, I'll always be there. So I think I need a friend, something similar to what I offer. So we need to be careful to saying that, okay, if this is the type of friend that you want, but what are you giving also as a friend? What kind of a friend are you? Are you the kind of friend that somebody will pick and say, this is the kind of friend that I want to be?
I think that was cool though. What kind of friend are you to the one you call your friend? Look, guys, I hope you're picking something though, because honestly speaking, it's easy for us to to talk about what is this person is to me, what is this person to me, who is that person to me. The question is this: what are you to that person?
Exactly.
And then until and then like they say though, it's only people who will say or who will describe to others how they need to be treated. Because look, when I'm meeting somebody for the first time, the way they treat me, it's like they say, first impression lasts longer.
Exactly.
And then the first impression doesn't mean it's the day you meet. It might still be the first week, it might still be the first month, because like they say, the journey of 1,000 begins with 1,000 miles will begin with a step, right? So if you guys are supposed to spend 10 months together or 10 years together, so it might be the first month that then your true color starts coming out, then I will know, is this person even worth it?
Exactly.
And then guys, we're not only talking about that for now, we're talking about also women as well, because we're still in the month of women. And then fortunately for me, or fortunately for you guys there, we have a beautiful lady here who we're going to go through the journey together today. We have about 30 minutes more to quickly just wrap up this and all that. So now, let's quickly just divert a little bit. Women, what does it take to be a woman? Because
very interesting.
I've never been one in my life. I've got mother, I have sisters. And I've been in a couple of relationships and all that. But what does it take to be a woman? Because I was watching one video just a couple of minutes back before I came here now, and then this lady was speaking to a guy, and he says, "Who are you? You're not even a man. Sorry, you're not even a woman. So why should you talk for women? Why should you know what women go through?" And the guy asked the question, "Oh, really?" She said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, fine. Are you a cat?" She said, "No." Then she says, "Okay, fine." And then he says, "Okay, do you know what a cat is?" So as the woman was about to answer the question, then he's like, okay, sorry, I know. Okay, fine. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. So it means we can only try to say a little about what we think about women, but it only takes a woman to tell us what a woman is.
Same as also with the men, we can't know what men are until we ask a man what it takes to be a man.
What does it take to be a woman?
But definitely to like define it in a very simple way. A woman, I would say for me, is creator of things. Not only somebody that gives birth, and we say that it's a creator
Okay.
or somebody that gives lives, because sometimes that's where they get it wrong. There is a saying in isiZulu, because I'm Zulu, that says "Watinta abafazi, watinta ipokoto," which means when you strike a woman, you strike a rock.
Okay.
So now we've been defined as this rocks. We are strong. We are supposed to be strong. That's what the society defines us to be strong. But sometimes in that strength, what the society forget is that lies emotions. In that strength lies pain. In that strength lies so many things that we had to go through. Even for something simple as giving birth to a child. It's not easy. I'm not a mother
Did
as
you
yet.
just say simple?
But
Yes,
I'm just saying that people will think it's a simple thing to just bring a child into this world. So they will take it so lightly to say, it's a simple thing. Women are so strong. Obviously, they carry the pain. So I'm just trying to tell you that even that thing that you call it simple, it's not as simple as you see, because you're thinking it's just a push and the simple. No, remember they have to go through your first trimester, and it comes with its own struggles and pains, and so many women, the 9 months of carrying this precious gift within you, and now you have to bring it into life. You still have to take care of this baby. You still have to be the nature of this baby. You still have to train this baby to be a woman, a man, so women when you define a woman, for me, it's somebody that is very precious. Like when I think about my mother, the struggle that she went through to bring us up after my father passed away, how she managed to take us to school, how she managed to be the single parent and, raise us to be the women that we are today. So a woman for me, it's a giver of life, a giver of, a caregiver, a nurturer, naturally so. It's something that we don't have to dig with deep. It comes with us. But here's where the problem becomes, or here's where men miss it. As I've said in my native language, you strike a woman, you strike a rock. Watinta abafazi, watinta ipokoto.
Wait. Teach me that again.
Watinta abafazi,
Watinta
watinta
abafazi.
ipokoto. Yeah. Watinta ipokoto. You strike a woman, you strike a rock. So
you get that.
So here is where I have a problem with recently. Then it used to be good, especially when women in South Africa. That's why we celebrate Women's Month in August. There's a very vast meaning to it. So women, took it upon themselves to fight for this nation. So now we come back to 2023. It's no longer the same. Things have changed. We are being perceived as this rock so that people can do anything they want to, especially, I don't want to say especially men, but in most cases we find ourselves in relationships that are very tough, and somebody will say, she's a woman, she'll be able to carry it because she's a rock, because we are perceived as rock. Sometimes we're not as rocky as how the world perceive us. Sometimes we are very emotional, we are very tender. We need that tender care. That's why we are women. As much as we want to be strong and want to be rocks, we want to protect our families, we want to be carriers, we want to do anything, but there's still that tenderness within ourselves that needs also to be nurtured.
But wait, one thing is still not clear to me here. If they say women are rock, look, if there's another adjective to qualify women that's way stronger than that, I think I will use. Right? But now, here's the part now that I don't get to understand. Women, I'm kind of confused sometimes especially when it comes to women.
I'm confused.
Because sometimes you think you understand what a woman is going through, and then she says, even sometimes some women say, I don't even understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Why that? So I don't know. I've never been a woman in my life. I've only been a guy. Then you will be like, okay, fine. What exactly is going through this lady's mind? you don't get to understand, and then you ask the lady too, then she'll like, I also don't know too, but I'm fine. Why that?
Look,
could that be a hormonal imbalance kind of thing, or you it's just some umoloi kind of thing?
Not really. Well, we can say that about men as well. Sometimes we feel as women that there is this book that is written, a manual that must come with men, that so we can understand when they are quiet, they are going through
No
this.
way.
When they are moody, or when they say, I don't want to talk, they are going through this.
No way.
But with
men go through that too.
Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to figure them out, but I understand with the woman. I'm a woman sometimes. Sometimes we go through processes of don't want to talk. And when that don't want to talk happens, it means you did something. And we don't want to talk about it now, because kind of like now we are going through it. If I'm going to go through it with you now, I'm going to be rude. I'm going to say things that I will regret later. So if I say I don't want to talk, I mean I don't want to talk, because there's a lot of things that are going through my mind. As a mother, as a wife, as a sister, I've got wifely duties that are waiting for me. I've got motherly duties at work. They're giving me deadlines. Maybe I'm taking like some classes at school. At the same time, there's what they call PMS. We can't run from that. I'm going through the menstrual cycling, and there's a lot of things that are happening to me. So it's not about you needing a manual to read me. It's about communication. As I always say, there's nothing that beats communication. There's nothing that beats what is wrong, what's going on, in a more polite manner, and in the environment with us also count. We can't just talk about anything anyway. A man will just come and say, what's for dinner? Maybe I'm in the bathroom or something, and then I'm going through it, or maybe I'm at work, I've got a lot of deadlines, and you're calling me, asking me for dinner. Really? Obviously the kind of answer that I'm going to give to you is not the kind of answer that you're expecting from me, and you're thinking, oh, there goes some women's mood. It's not that. It's a place and time and a positioning, just like in marketing. They give you those 4 P's. So when you want to talk to a woman, or you want to understand a woman, communication is the key.
Guys, do you believe that though? Because honestly, I think, there's just only 2 things I think men want in life.
What are those?
Food and the other one.
Mention it.
I think that. And peace of mind.
And they want it from who?
And peace of mind. Just 3.
A peace of
Food,
mind.
the do, and peace of mind.
And they want it from who? Who's supposed to give that? A woman. You understand? And when men want those 3 things, they don't care about what you are going through. We also want that. You'll be surprised that we want peace. We also want food, and we also want a peace of mind. We also want that. It's part of life. When I come home as a woman, I want to come home to a very calm husband, to a husband who understands that I've been working from 6 in the morning until 6 p.m. Men expect me to come back from 6 in the afternoon and start cooking, but he was sitting at home and he wasn't doing anything. But he expects food, and after that food that I gave him, he still expects the dessert that comes with me, the dessert that I carry with me, and he still wants a peace of mind. Probably wants to sleep here. That's his peace of mind. But then he forgets about what I went through throughout the day. But still, he wants those 3: food, peace of mind. I call it the dessert, and a dessert that I walk with everywhere I go inside the house.
But the thing is this now. But do you think it's easy for men to interpret ladies? I've never in my whole life understood ladies.
You know what?
You would look at their faces, you were like, this looks like she's happy. Let me try. Then boom. Okay. How can a man interpret a lady's look by just appearance? We want people to learn. Yeah, exactly. And then, so how do you think men can interpret, or men can understand the right time
to approach a woman
for those 3 things? For food, normal food we eat, right? The other food, and that peace of mind.
Yeah. Well, it depends with the person that you're with. Because remember, it cannot be every lady who's like that. I mean, when you start dating a person, you start knowing them, you start understanding them, you start reading them. I enjoy what's this guy? Is it Brian Adams? There's a song that he did called To Really Love a Woman. There's a part where you say you need to understand her. You know, you need to know her. You understand? So when you know her, you know her mood swings. When you know her, or when you start to understand her, you know which days or maybe which times are right for you to approach, which times are right for you to ask certain things. She's your partner, you understand. Remember, you can't ask every girl, I want this food, I want this, I want this. That's why God said, get married first, then enjoy other food. So now when you get married now, you have this person that you're staying with in your house. You understand her, you understand her mood swings, you understand when she doesn't feel like it. So you would know as a man, if you take time to understand your partner, you will know when is the right time to approach. Just like us ladies, when we want something from you, when you want money, we know when is the right time to ask for money.
No,
because we've learned.
You set it up yourself, and I'm saying it, and I'm speaking for all men out there. You guys set it up.
How do we set it up?
You set the right mood. You set the
we set the right mood.
I tell you,
so what's stopping you from setting the right mood also to your woman when you want certain things?
All of them. You all need different manuals. You all work with different manuals, and I promise you, man, not even a single man will tell you I have the full manual of my woman. You think you understand now? Tomorrow, not just a couple of minutes. Boom. You're like, well, I tried this thing yesterday, it worked. How come it's not working?
Yeah.
What's causing that?
As I've said, it's not. It's as I've said before, it's about understanding the person that you're with. And also, for me, communication is the key for everything. Even at work, we use communication. At home, we use communication. If you don't communicate as partners, sometimes you communicate to your woman, what is it that you like? Am I touching you okay? Am I the good husband? Am I, you need to talk about things to a point where even the other part of the food, you need to talk about it so that she understands what is it that turns you on. She understands what is it that, makes you vava. What is it that makes it that also you as a man, you need to get that. But men don't want to learn those things. They feel, they should be ready. They come with a woman. They programmed. We're not only all women programmed the same. That's why we are different. That's why we come with, skinny bodies, big breasts and everything. We are individually made by God, specially made by God. So we are not all the same. So what we need is understanding. Understand your woman. You understand? Know what is it that turns her on. Know what is it that makes her angry. Know what is it that makes her happy. And you'll find out with women, simple things. Simplest things ever.
You think it's simple? You're saying you're making it that simple. I promise you, we guys have been going through that right from the day one God created this world until next freaking years to come. Nobody will ever understand that part. Well, I'll pretend to go along with that anyway, or we'll just see. But wait, guys, I think we are about to to push this a little bit top notch now. To go a bit, PG-18. But don't worry, we'll try and censor it a little bit. Because there's a particular thing I'm trying to get out here, right? Now, just as we all know, men want the other thing, like they want water in their life, right? And we don't just need it for just action's sake. Sometimes we just need it to maybe just relax our brain. Sometimes we just need it to just feel comfortable with our partner. Sometimes we just need it to just to make babies. Sometimes we just need it to you understand?
Yeah.
So and that time I would say every average guy out there, let's say at least once every 3 days, they do want that. And I heard many ladies say, I can even go months without it. No!
It's possible.
No! I don't think that's how God created it. I don't think God made it. Why do you say for months you can... how do you live? How do you handle that in your head? Like, bruh, you've got someone who is with you, who need that to function well and all that, or to sleep well. How on earth are you guys able to do that?
It's highly, take it, I'm gonna say slowly, it's highly possible for us women.
Explain. We want to know. So then we know if maybe every guy now, you are the one now to tell us now, right? If every guy now should now go for at least two girlfriends out there now.
No. I'm not saying that.
If
I'm
one
not
says
saying
no,
that.
the other one's going to say yeah, isn't it?
So you're saying to me, if the man is not available, he traveled somewhere, that means I must get something on the other side.
No,
let me tell you.
I think maybe that's why that thing is useful. But I mean, for you to have a man, and then you will still be like, is it food? Is that all you think about? No, don't mess up my head. These, bruh.
If
it's
I would
a man
say,
for freaking out, like.
If a man has a woman like that, he should be grateful. I'll explain why. I was in a relationship, and I was dating somebody who constantly traveled. So whenever he was not around, my mind would not be trained for me to go to my neighbor and seek some adventure from my neighbor, because my man is not around. So now my brain is trained that, okay, on certain days or certain times, this guy is not here. You understand? So my mind is not trained in a way that, okay, since he's not here, let me seek for alternatives.
Come a little bit.
Yeah.
You're good out of the frame, okay.
So my mind doesn't train me to go to a second option. You understand? That's a good part about some women, because you're thinking, oh, he's gone. For instance, you've got guys that are staying abroad. They've got families that are here, but they travel abroad because of work. You want to tell me that when they are not around, then the woman must seek alternatives? No. So what this woman will do is to train herself to say, okay, now the man is not around, so I will train my body that, you know what, Daddy is not around, so I will just stay at home and then, keep myself until he's around. So when he's around, then, I grab him, because now he's at home. So most women can go a year, some women can go a year, some women can go for a very long time, because it's the mind that you train. You train your mind to do certain things. If you train your mind to be sexually, out there, definitely going to be out there. When you start seeing guys, with muscles, you're seeing guys of a certain stature, that means you start feeling something inside, because that's what your brain is trained to do. But certain women train their body, they train their mind to say, you know what, I can live without sex. I can live without a man for a month, for a month or two, or even a year. Because if he's not around, my mind doesn't tell me to play the Clarence Carter song and become neighborly with my neighbor while I'm waiting for my husband, or while I'm waiting for my partner to come back home.
Okay. I think that's fair. That's fair. But, well, I think you're trying to dodge the answer here. Yes, it's fine. It works in that aspect.
And it works for you as a man.
Then what now happens when the man is around and you're always like, no, is that what you think of in life? No. Because I've seen a movie where that happens, and I'm like, bruh, when there are a lot of ladies out there who are even fighting with their pillow and they're tired, and then you are privileged to have one, and you're still like, no, is that what you think of? Is that where? No, not today. Okay, fine, maybe in 2 days time. Why that? Now the man is around now.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Maybe you don't do that, but why do you think
other women do
that?
Yeah. There are couples that schedule sex life. There are couples that will say, you know what, honey, yeah, we're going to have sex only on Wednesdays, on Fridays, on Sundays, and it's diarized in that manner. There are couples who will sleep. Yeah, there are couples who sleep in separate bedrooms, and when they want to have sex, they make it, put it in a diary that on this certain day we're going to meet. We're going to meet and have sex. So why you find some other women not sexually, active in that manner? It does happen. We're not groomed the same. When we're growing up, I'm an 80s child. You know, you were told about the bad things about sex. You know, you can't have sex. You can't. You have sex. You fall pregnant. And so some of the 80s kids. I'm talking for the 80s. Probably for the 80s kids. Obviously. We're raised in a very, you know, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word respectful, but we're raised differently from the latest kids, this generation that we have. You understand? For us, there's certain places that maybe we're taught that, you know, sex, you can only have sex in the bed or inside the house, or, you know, there's certain places. Sex is something that they would say it's a respectable thing between a man and a woman, you know, it's a covenant. That's why they say sex before marriage. In the Christian manner, it's a sin, things like that. You understand? I'm not trying to dodge the question. I'm coming there. Okay. So now we don't. You know, it's 80s. I'm talking about 80s kids. So when it comes to sex, for us, it's a private generation now. Yeah, it's a private meeting. This generation now, anywhere, anytime, bring it on. I'll give it to you. So now men tend to want to compare us, or want to compare the 80s. I don't want to give my age now. Want to compare the 80s and the 90s kids to this new generation who are freaky, who are ready to do it anytime, anywhere, any day, 5 times a week. Remember, with the 80s, we've got careers now. I'm not saying they don't have careers. They do have careers. But us, we've got careers that we've started building. We've got kids who are now teenagers. And whatever that you do, they see what you are doing. So if you're going to be reckless about even our sex life and the way we're doing it and who we're doing it, what about the kids who are now teenagers? So this 2000s, they don't have teenage kids. Probably they have kids who are younger. So they can do it anywhere, anytime, freaky, whatever they want to do it. You understand? And sometimes with us, as the 80s people or the 90s people, stresses of work, they do take out that, you know, that sex drive from us. And maybe relationship strains, especially if we don't communicate. I think, as I've said before, that communication is key. If we don't talk about it, probably the things that are bothering me, probably the things that you're doing, probably you're not touching me well, probably the sex life is no longer that enjoyable. There's kids. Remember, a woman's body changes when they start having kids. You understand? So now I don't feel like it that much because of my body situation, because I've given you 2 kids. Now I don't look the same. My boobs don't look the same. My figure doesn't look the same. So sometimes we've got this, you know, laid-back situation that, you know what, I don't look good anymore. Probably because sometimes even with you guys, you don't tell us, like, you know what, you look good in this dress. You look good. You know, if you wear that.
Do you like complimenting? You like compliments?
A lot. We can. The more you compliment your wife, the more you compliment your woman, the more you tell your woman how pretty she is, even if she doesn't feel pretty. But if she hears that from you, she's gonna act. You tell her every day, you know, I like it when you jump up and down, when you touch your hair, when you do this. Trust you and me, she'll forever be interested because you are giving it to her. So if you're not telling her, who's going to tell her? She's not going to be comfortable. She's not going to be up and ready, you know, to be this freaky zicky that you want in the bed.
You think so? Now you're throwing it back to our faces now that everything
exactly.
is still
Exactly.
Ladies, reverse psychology is the main thing. You ask them something, they will try. It's okay, cool. No
it
problem.
always comes back to man anyway.
Okay,
you know, when you want to understand a woman, you throw it back. It's a
man.
man.
Even Adam and Eve, nobody blames Eve. But people still blame Adam, like
if Adam was there in their house, the woman was not gonna eat the apple. Because Adam was gonna protect her from eating the apple.
What if he wanted to look for food to look for food for them?
But he was supposed to be in the house to make sure no snakes maneuver around the house. If he was there, it's always the man. It's always the man.
I'm just hearing this for the first time, guys. Can you imagine? Okay, kill life. Okay, cool. Now, let's now come down to emotion now. Mm-hmm. How do you think women handle emotion? Do you think, okay, well, we all know women are more emotional than men. Mm-hmm. And some men and we, in contrary, are more jealous than you guys are. Just that you might not really know it. Mm-hmm. We men, I believe we deal with our self-ego a lot.
Yeah.
You understand?
I agree.
And that's what makes us, you know, feel jealous or get jealous when we smell some
cheating.
You understand all that?
Something is coming, something is brewing.
So now in this case now, right? Mm-hmm. If you, I want to put there are two case studies we're going to treat today. So the first one is this, right? Now, in the case of a man and a woman, the man doesn't have a child yet, right? And the woman has a child before they got married. So now, who do you think the man should love more? You as a lady, who do you think the man should love more between the wife and her kid? They don't have a child together. Who do you think the man should love more if he wants to win the heart of that woman?
If I were to be honest, I would say you can't just love a child that you don't know about. You can't just love a child that you just met through somebody else.
God bless you.
So you need to start loving your woman, understanding your woman, and once you start loving your woman, you'll start loving things that are around her. Things
You're going out of frame.
So you start wanting to like things, or you love things that surround her. When you love somebody, it's like us women. When we love a man, we start loving you enjoying soccer. We start enjoying soccer because it's what will bring us together. It's what will make us to spend time together. So you as a man also, when you love a woman and the woman has kids, when you start appreciating this woman, obviously she comes, I don't want to call it a baggage, but we can just say she comes with something, you understand? So you would love anything that surrounds her. If she's got,
so you're saying he must love the woman first.
Love your woman first, obviously, because that's the person you met first. That's the person that attracted you physically. So you understand, before emotions started coming, before emotions started building, you can't just love somebody's child just unless you are pretending. So you love your woman, you understand your woman and everything that she comes with. Then you start understanding, oh, okay, she's got daughters, she's got sons. Let me just, try to understand them, And then you try to bring them along and you start maybe forming a friendship, which is not very easy sometimes because the kids sometimes, let's just say they're teenagers, they start telling you, you're not my dad, you're not my dad. But sometimes the things that they see you doing probably to their mother that will make them understand you, accept you, and love you. If they see that you make their mother happy, they'll be drawn to you.
Wait. Do you think there should be anything at all that should come from the child? I mean,
exactly. 100%.
Does the child have a say in this thing?
Seriously, 100%.
How?
Because remember, now, let's just say this
because
thing.
I'm a man, you understand? Because look, I will just come from this angle. Like, okay, fine. I don't know whether this child's father was an. Oh, sorry, pardon my pidgin. You understand? And then and all that, or whether it's the woman's fault, or whether it's just fate.
There's a father somewhere.
You understand?
Exactly.
So that I wouldn't know that, and lo and behold, not all ladies will tell you the 100% truth.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And you don't even have a chance to go ask the other man, hey, what happened? Why are you guys not together and all that?
Yeah.
So then, do you still think that child still has a full say in that union though?
Remember, the child and the mother share blood. They are related through blood. You understand? You coming as a third party, I'll call you a third party. You are just an addition to the family. So these two share something. She gave birth to this person. You understand? She raised this person. So this person, this child, when she sees the mother, I'll say it's a girl child, because now we're talking about it's a woman's mouth. She sees this person as the mother, as her everything, as a provider, as a nurturer, somebody that gave birth to her. You are just somebody that liked the flower and you picked it and you said, you know what, I want to grow it, I want to nurture it, I want to pour water. But that flower that you picked, it's got some seeds around it. So you are telling me that you want to raise the flower on its own and forget about the seeds that are around the flower. You can't. So children have a say. In fact, in most cases, children have a say in such a way that would even influence the mother to either stay in that relationship or to live in that relationship, because they will see how you treat the mother. They will see how the mother is when she's around you. If the mother starts, to just maybe start deteriorating, start losing her sleep, start, being frustrated, that means you are not a very good addition to that family, because what the mother goes through, she would end up dumping it away on the children.
Okay, you see, this question I asked you though is a real life experience though. So a guy was sharing his story, and he says, okay, fine. He told the same thing you just said now. He said the woman asked him who do you love most? He said, I love you, my wife, because at least you're the one I met first and all that. He said, the woman was just getting, Then she asked the second question now that destroyed everything. Then she said, okay, fine. What happens if one day the house is burning? And then she was in there and the child was in there. Who are you gonna pick first? You as a man, who are you gonna pick first?
Yeah.
What do you advise before I say what the guy say?
That's not a very nice thing to ask somebody. It's I mean,
I promise you.
Yeah.
Now they've broken up now.
Yeah.
That's what caused their divorce.
It's unfair. It's a very unfair question. Meaning you can't throw such a thing to say, who would you pick up first.
And remember,
and if she said I'll pick you,
this child we're talking about here is hers.
It's a woman's child.
Not even for the guy.
Even if it's a guy's child, even if I had a friend, a colleague actually, but yeah, we formed a friendship. She also has kids with this guy, and then I really lost what I wanted to say.
She had a child with someone else.
Yeah, she was a child with somebody else, and I remember I was sitting with them, and then the guy said, you know what, I met the woman first. I love this woman, and after that I came to love her children because of loving her, because I loved the mother first. Of course, they've got a blended family. There's 2 children from the guy's side. There's I think 1 from the woman's child. Now they've got kids together, so it's a blended family. And I heard somebody, a pastor, if I remember correctly, saying that me and my wife usually take vacations and we leave the kids, and the kids always ask, why must you leave us? And the men will always say, that's my wife. You are the kids who came last. I met her when she was 18. I married her on this day. So she is my life partners. You are just additions to the family. As much as we love you, just additions to the family.
Which is fair, I think.
But what this woman is asking, it's unfair.
What should the guy do now? Because now the woman asked him, what if you were the guy, what would you have answered?
I would leave that. It's not a very healthy relationship for me to be with. I would leave.
No.
I would be, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want somebody who's going to put me in the pressure to say, tit for tat. Now we're talking tit for tat. I wouldn't want somebody to put me in the pressure to say, what if she chose the woman? She was going to come up with an excuse to say, oh, that means you don't love my kids. So as much as
what if she chose the child?
The child, then she's like, oh, maybe you've got a thing with my child. Maybe you like my daughter. Maybe you see my daughter in a different area, because we see these things happen. Maybe what if the child is a teenager? And then she's gonna say, okay, maybe you have a fling. No, it's a very unfair, coming from a woman's point of view, it's an unfair question, and a man shouldn't be put in such a space whereby he is made to choose between somebody's kids and the woman. Obviously, maybe if the relationship is still new, some men will say, I will choose you because I'm still trying to figure you out, you as an individual, but still I still have to figure what you are coming with, what you are bringing to this relationship. The kids that I don't even know, the kids whom I don't even know, their father, for heaven's sake, and now you're asking me if the house burns, who am I going to pick? The man should say, I'll pick myself and leave.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just grab my jacket, grab my phone and go. I think it's a fair thing.
My documents?
If I need them, I'll pick my documents and leave, because now you're putting me in a spot. Let's just say the man has one hand, and he can only grab either the wife or he can only grab the daughter. Trust you in me, if he grabs the daughter, and then the family, in fact, will say, there's something going on there. This man has been sleeping with this child. If the man grabs the wife, the woman is gonna the woman is gonna divorce him to say, yeah, why did you pick me and leave my child? That means you never left my child in a I know sometimes as women, sometimes we can be a bit unreasonable, but still we blame it on men. It's because of
we're in trouble, guys. Okay, now the guy says that his response was, I will save you, my wife. Then the woman was like, so you mean my own child should go and die because you want to save your wife? So what happened to the poor child who's helpless, who can't even? And the guy was like, but what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to pick one, right? I pick you. And we will give birth to another one. So what happened to that?
It's unfair to even say that you'll give birth to another one, you know,
Yes.
because a human being actually it's irreplaceable. You know, that's why God made us individually unique, because nobody can come and become Tembi. But at the same time, she is so unrealistic. You understand? You can't put a person on the spot like that to say, why didn't you choose my child? Did he meet your child first? He met you. What relationship, what state of this relationship does this man has with the child currently? Does this child call this man daddy? Is this man adoptive to this child? Is he the adoptive parent currently? What's the status? You understand? We need to understand exactly where we are for us to ask certain questions. It's like being in a relationship for 2 days and you be like, when are you going to marry me? Well, some women feel it's okay because they need to know where the future is going. But sometimes I don't even know you. As much as you can spend 10 years or 20 years with the person without knowing them fully. But sometimes to ask certain questions, when are you going to marry me? I don't even know your parents. I've never even, I don't know where you, how you look like when you are stressed. Maybe you start throwing things. Maybe you're a psychopathic person. I don't know you. So it's unfair to ask certain questions at certain stages. Maybe if they were 20 years in that relationship or in that marriage, if they're married and the man has known the child for maybe 10 or 15 years, or there's a certain relationship or the bond that this man has built with this child, maybe you can ask, but still, it's an unfair question to ask somebody that question.
I think, well, maybe if I was asked that question in a way, I think you said it all. All I was just going to say is this, right? Well, you are the woman I know, and then, you know, if I as a man have accepted you with your flaw, because I want to believe, well, so it's okay. I want to believe that's not a mistake, but it's like it's a past. It's your past that is following you around now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, look, if we all knew that, you know, this man or this lady I'm meeting here is a mistake, I would rather think twice before I, you know, put her in some family.
And what do you mean by a mistake? Who is a mistake? Meaning the child, probably.
The child is not a mistake, but the act of bringing him or her into the world
before marriage.
Before you get to know that, and we can't even
you can't determine.
We can't even predict
exactly
if this
relationship is going to work, it's not going to work. Exactly. So you can have, you know what, it's okay. You know, I think prior I used to be judgmental of somebody that will say, you know, I have kids with 3 different baby daddies. You know, we were so quick as a society to judge and say, you know what, this woman, she's promiscuous. How can she have 3 baby daddies? She's not even married. You understand? But then when I met baby daddy number 1, I didn't know certain things about him. I didn't know maybe he's gonna hurt me the way he did. I didn't know things are gonna go the way, or maybe it's allowed and it's okay. I grew out of love with him. I didn't love him the same anymore, and it's okay. I met baby daddy number 2, same situation. I didn't find him attractive anymore. It's allowed. It's normal. It happens. You understand? Then I met baby daddy number 3. He's got a bit of flaw somewhere than there. I thought it was going to be the last one, you understand? But it didn't. And then I got married to somebody. Sometimes you get married to somebody with a child, somebody without a child, and then they start questioning what happened to daddy number 1, daddy number 2, daddy number 3. It's life, it happens. You understand? So you can't predetermine how your life is going to end up. Yes, I'm going to have those 3 babies, and they're not going to be mistakes, because I had them probably in situations where they were conducive for me, in situations where I was okay into having baby number 1, baby number 2, and baby number 3. And now I'm in a relationship, and now I kind of ask you, if the house catches fire, which child are you going to save from the fire? It's unfair.
It's unfair.
It's unfair.
Okay. Now, because we're still speaking about women, and because, you know, the topic is Women Month and also friendship at the same time. I think we're being unfair now, right? Now we're no more going back to friendship. Okay, so because we're still talking women though, do you think, to you, or put yourself in those 2 shoes now, right? Do you think it will be rude, it will be disgusting, it will be so disrespectful of your man to ask you if maybe you just want to? And I promise you, man, things are happening out there now, especially in this generation now.
Yeah,
things are really happening. I've seen a couple of movies now where, you know, that has happened where a man and a woman will just be like, okay, fine, let's just spice up our sex life a little bit, and then just go to strip club together. Let's just go see how things work there and all that. And then the two of them will go, and then boom, maybe the lady will be with another guy in the presence of the man, and the man will also do with another girl, just to. And I was listening to this podcast also recently where this lady was saying that, do you guys know that it's true that if you sleep with only one woman, excuse me, she's also a medical practitioner too, but I don't know how true that. I think I can figure a little bit because we are in this world now together. She said if you sleep with one woman too often every time and every now and then, it will get to a point where your body might not really get that attractive or get that attracted to that person, especially when you see with the woman every day, stripping naked and all that. It will get to a point where as a man you not even see it as anything anymore. Like,
she's no longer attractive to you.
You understand?
Exactly.
Only when. So then the lady now said, okay, fine. So now the question is this: if a man tells you that now, okay, fine, that it's beginning to deteriorate a little bit here and there, and then the lady now said the solution to that might be if a guy just goes out once in a while, just to try someone else, then come back again, then it will reactivate again. Do you see any sense in that? And would you allow it?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's not about us.
And before you answer it, some ladies will be like, women are enemies of women. So you better answer it so that people will not storm
their. They can draw as much as they can. I'll try to answer it in a way that the way I feel it, the way I see it. I'll try to be truthful to myself. You understand? So that
because that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. So listen. I think I was in a relationship for so long that I tend to forget myself in that relationship. And I think in that relationship I was doing the best that I can. I was doing the best that I can, I think, for the partner, and maybe forgetting to do the best that I can for me. You understand? So yes, men will go out, men will tap into other spaces without even you knowing. Sometimes I say, you know what?
Would you then allow it now to say, okay, fine, don't do it outside, I want to see?
No. For me, specifically I wouldn't want to see that. For me, it's just nonsense. Die. Not really. No, I wouldn't rather die. It's a matter of communicating. If you see that, look, I don't fit that thing. I don't tap that space in you. I'm no longer that attractive. Probably it happens. I've mentioned before that sometimes people grow out of relationship because of certain things. Sometimes maybe the person's looks, and it's okay. As much as we can fight, women can fight, they can come for me. As much as you can say, you know what, this person probably has gained the weight, I didn't maintain with this weight. But remember, this woman gave birth to your kids.
Definitely.
You remember that part. But sometimes it doesn't mean that women should just sit there and say, you know what, I gave birth to 3 kids, therefore I'm going to be like that. Sometimes men needs to remember that, you know what, when I met her, she was in this manner, she was, you know what, it's okay.
Would you allow it?
No, I would never allow it for me to see. But now, if we communicate, remember, I also have needs. Remember, sometimes I don't see you the same. Sometimes you're no longer the man that I met. Sometimes you're no longer attractive to me. It goes both ways.
Thank you, because I was getting there.
Yeah, if you and I have an agreement to say, you know what, I love you. I really want to be with you in this relationship. But when it comes to our sex life, there's something that is missing. You understand? Maybe I just want to explore. Maybe I just want to, date Tom, and I just want to find out, if maybe I go out of this relationship, maybe sometimes it has to do with race. Maybe I don't feel like sleeping with a black guy. Maybe I want to try a white guy. Maybe you as a man, you have that fantasy, and we both communicate, we both agree on it. Who is stopping us?
So,
who is a society to judge us? Who is a family member of some way to judge us? This is our bedroom matter.
So are you saying you would allow that or not? Because
I would allow, not you bringing a woman and having sex with her in front of me. I would never allow that. But if it means that you say that,
go do you.
Just
don't let me know.
Protect. No. Let me know.
Then it's as good as you. It's as good as you can see.
No, I don't want to see. I don't want to see another woman on top of you.
Head.
No.
You know how this guy hums. You know how this guy does his things. Then you imagine now seeing someone. You can be like,
funny. It's coming from. It's coming from a man. because what I've learned is that women, when they cheat, let's bring it back to cheating now. Women, when they step out of the relationship and when they cheat, remember, it's different from when men cheat. Women are emotional beings, naturally so. So when women cheat, it's because there's something that they've been deprived of in the relationship. They're lacking emotions. They're lacking somebody to hold them. They're lacking somebody to whisper certain things to them. They're lacking somebody who's going to be like, a fantasy. They've got this fantasy, and when they tap into that fantasy, for them, emotions are attached. That's why when a woman now is cheating, a man will say, I will never take it back because I can imagine how this guy was sleeping with her, how he was touching her, he was, doing all these things. It's because they know that emotions are attached when a woman is involved. You understand? She tends to laugh. She tends to want to hold this man. She tends to want to call this man like for 2 hours, and she'll be laughing and giggling because she's in the fantasy. Whereas with men, it's all about seeing, liking, getting, and letting go. You understand? That is why sometimes other women will be like, he was just passing by. I'm not going to take it serious. So it's not going to be something that I would just cry over. But with other women, it hurts when you hear that your man was cheating, or you see with a man with another person. So it goes in both ways, but in a different spectrum. Because now with men, it's more about tapping and going. With women, it's about emotions, attachment and everything. So no, I wouldn't want to see my guy with on top of another woman. But if he talks to me and tells me about it, I'm okay with it.
But I think
if you agree,
be wrong in a way, because look, if you are saying, I know with ladies, it has to be with attachment and all. What about those ones who sell?
It is a job.
And
so I've watched a lot of documentaries. It does. I've watched a lot of documentaries about those women. You know how they go through the most as well. They do go through the most, but sometimes some of them, that's why you find that some of them, they take drugs, they take certain medication because they want to forget about whatever that happened. Some will say, before I even sleep with the client, I need to be high so that I don't feel anything, because for me, it feels like a very traumatic experience to go through. I mean, sleeping with different.
But they all look happy.
They look happy.
Have you seen them?
It's a job.
They look happy.
In a job, you have to look. I've worked for the bank. I didn't like working for a bank. I had to look happy. It's a job. I had to smile. They told me, Tembi, you have to smile. Yeah, it was painful because before I left for work, I would cry my lungs out because I hated that job. And you know what? When I entered that job, I was the best customer service agent ever because it's a job. One of the requirements that come with it is that smile, greet your customers. Imagine a customer comes and saying, hello, because I'm sad. It's a job. So they have to tap in that space of saying, you know what, now I'm at work. You understand? This man is on top of me. It's called work. So I'm going to smile. I'm going to do whatever that comes with the job. Because remember, every job has its own specs. Even that particular job that you're talking about, it's got its own specs. If they say right on top, you right on top because it's a job.
Okay. So now, have you ever been in a situation where at work, you feel gender equality was not properly done there? Do you believe in gender equality, Joe? I do, and or you believe in feminism kind of thing?
No, not really.
Because feminism I think feminism also stands for gender equality, right?
It is, but it differs in terms of it comes with women who feel that not really feel, but who believe in more women's rights, women empowerment. It's a good thing to be in the feminism space or to be a feminist. There's nothing wrong about it. But yeah, I've been in workspaces whereby, but I've been fortunate. I'll tell you why. I've been in the construction companies. And I remember one of my previous company, it was a UK-based company. It was, there was a lot of guys and white men. Not even a single day they made me feel that I'm a woman, I'm a black woman, and I needed to prove myself, But even if that was the case, I was put in that case. I think I was raised, as I told you before, that I was very close to my dad. I think he raised me very bold enough to be able to stand. I can stand in any environment. I can work with 5 men when I'm a ladies. I've been in a company whereby I was the only girl there. I've been in a company.
Have you ever been a tomboy before?
Yeah, I've been there.
No wonder.
That's where I started. Sometimes I can't believe that it's me that's walking with heels, that's wearing makeup like this, that's wearing a wig. I was a serious tomboy.
Is it?
Yeah.
And was it cool then?
It wasn't a matter of being cool. I think it's because when I grew up in the township and I was growing up there, I think there were a lot of boys around my neighborhood than girls.
So you had to blend in with them?
No, not really blend in. I think I enjoyed their emo more than the girls. So I enjoyed. They used to play with rollerblades. They used to do a lot of things.
I used to have this female friend of mine, who's like, okay, look, I don't do girls, but I
prefer male friends.
I prefer to rather chill with men. And
That's
I was
okay.
like, why? Because you like girls like to just
Gossip.
Gossip. They just want to envy for nothing.
Yeah.
Just want to do. I'm like, okay, fine, but have you ever witnessed men gossip too?
Yeah, a lot.
And that time, I just want to strip myself off my skin.
And men gossip
more.
Yeah, men are the big gossipers.
Yarr!
Without knowing. Little things like seeing a girl passing by and starts talking about her guy.
Us.
No, it's not. Men can gossip. That's why there's a term they call guys basket mouth. I had to learn it around. They say, oh, this guy's a basket mouth. It's men do gossip, but in most cases, when men gossip, they gossip about us women. But we women gossip about other women.
That's just talk.
Yeah.
If we talk about ladies, it's just a kind of gist. It's just a fun gist kind of thing. Well,
they go deep. Men go deep. Men don't mind talking about the kind of sex they had with the woman. Oh, she was freaking. She was hot. She used to bend down. I think that for us women, we don't like to talk about the details of what we did with a guy. We don't share those details. But with guys, it's easy for them to say, she moved, she was flipping her head.
Do you know why so?
And we don't want to hear that.
I'm a guy. Let me tell you why it's so.
Please
The reason is because, we men see it as competition. It's competition to us.
Who can tap better?
Yeah, who can tap better? How many
rounds
body
can you
counts
go?
do you have? How many rounds can you go and all that? And then now it will not get to the point of how many how many big girls, how many ladies with high caliber have you done and all that.
Oh really?
So, yes. I hope guys don't guys, I'm not trying to break bro code. So then ladies can also know that it's normal in our world.
Okay.
So then the thing is this now, right? So that time when it's happening, and I tell you, we only share that about a lady or about ladies we don't really feel for. Sorry guys, I'm sorry.
Record.
We only do that, to ladies, that we. But I tell you, man, no responsible man will ever go out there and say that about his wife or about his serious fiancé.
Okay.
So you can now see the difference now. So it could be, oh, okay, fine, yeah. How was that girl? Man, it was cool and all that. Yeah, it's fine. That's it.
Yeah.
And I think that will only happen among all those high school kids that are just growing.
High school kids shouldn't have sex.
But they do.
Unfortunately.
Those guys are even freakier than.
Okay.
And I tell you, man, especially because of what. Many times I'll be passing by, you see some kids by the roadside, bruh.
So can I ask you a question?
God knows. Okay, go for it.
So do men like freaky girls? And what makes a freaky girl in the men's definition?
Men don't just like freaky girls. We love it.
Okay.
Guys, am I telling the truth? We love it. And you know why? Because every man, just as I said earlier, it's an exercise for men. It's a game.
Brings you alive.
It brings us alive. So when you see a girl who knows a game, you want to be like, that's why you will see this sugar daddy that will be with this small girl, and then he'll just do to me, and the girl will be like, I still want more. No. You can't kill me. It's fine. Go and cheat on me, my baby. It's fine. Go and cheat on me.
Yeah.
I can't kill myself.
So what's a freaky girl? What does a freaky girl do?
A freaky girl to me. Okay, let me just say to me. A freaky girl to me is a lady who everything still boils down to the sexual life. A freaky girl is a girl that will give it to you, that will be creative in it.
The sex
Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
We'll be creative with it. We'll always come with, although we love it, but we don't really respect a lady who does that. Because we'll be like, this one with this wealth of experience.
Who did you get it from?
You understand?
Yeah.
And then we will definitely know. Guys will still be like, okay, if I'm not around.
So she's not a wife material per se.
You understand? So it would be nice if it's a wife, if it's someone who you got married to, and that's why I was expecting. I thought the question you were going to ask me is this, right? How do guys see
wife material?
A retired mahosha? Someone who's like, okay, who used to be in that game.
How do you determine that this person is a retired prostitute?
Danko, you can't. Well,
so just because somebody's experienced, somebody.
No, they will tell you. They will tell you. Like I have this friend of mine who once went to we call them pick and pay. Who once went to this pick and pay. Sorry, guys, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. You pick your kind and you pay for it.
You understand?
Wow. Okay.
So then there's this guy who went to the shop and then all that, and then he was like, this girl just fell in love with him like that, and I was like, and then he even said it was even the girl that even collected his number.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then so you guys will start dating, and how do you see yourself? A fortunate one or what? Because if I said, are you sure? He said, the girl didn't even tell me to. She even told me to just leave the money and she just enjoyed it. I'm like, bruh.
Okay.
Bruh. No. Were you on drugs? Were you on stuff and all that?
Yeah.
No. I just went with my normal simple person, and I'm like, okay, fine. So then, what do you see in that? I asked the guy. He's like, no, I don't think anything serious will ever come from that. But would you go? He said, yes, I will.
Maybe go for her.
Go for her, and then later on, after a couple of months, I'm like, I still with this person. Like, look, truth be told, this girl is a real normal human being, very down to earth and all that.
Yeah.
But the reason I can't continue is because of
the sex life.
Because I know where she works.
Oh.
So I'm like,
okay.
And that is only happening because we're in Africa. We're in Africa, you understand. But I'm like, but if we were in, maybe in the Europe and all that, where people don't
liberated
really,
and stuff, yeah. Because I know a lot of them that, not that I know them personally, but as I've said, I've watched documentaries. You'll find that some of them are married, they've got husbands. But because, as I've said earlier, it's a job. When they go to a job, they need to tap into a job. You understand? But coming back to the freakier side of women, when men will say they want a freakier version of a woman, it's funny that, yes, you've said they want to do a pick and pay whereby they will pick them and pay for them, right? So now when they pick and the paying stops, who now must marry these pick and pay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who? Oh, well.
Yeah, because for most guys, they're not wife material. They are good for that particular time, they give freakier time. Then now when it comes to settling down, as you've mentioned, your friend said, no, she's a good human being and things like that. But still, because of the job that she does, and because maybe she's freaky somewhere, now she's not a wife material. So whose wife material is she going to be? Who's going to marry her?
That is where I always have problem with this doctrine, only this single doctrine of the Catholic guys. The Catholic will rather go to these Puritan fathers of theirs, where somebody will sit beside one, and then there will be a barrier there, and then they will be like, Father, I'm here to confess my sin.
Yeah.
Don't! I do not want to know.
We must confess.
Don't.
If we want our sins to be forgiven, we must confess.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I promise you, man.
Yeah.
Because you know why? because it's rather better, and then ladies are good at that.
Confessing.
No. At keeping secrets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ladies are good at that.
We should.
So you rather go to grave with
the
some
secret.
past stories of yours.
It saves a lot of people
It
a
saves
lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble, guys.
Exactly.
You rather go to grave with some secrets.
Imagine I tell you that these 2 kids belong to your brother, and you couldn't make kids.
Danko. and then how do you think I should handle it? When I fine. Well,
so we think first before we do things.
And I think it's even good if the guy doesn't know that his sperm is not mature enough to make babies. But then the day he finds out that
why must he find out? Especially if, remember in the olden days, right? When in the Zulu olden days, you'll find that, let's just say a woman is married to maybe the second born, or let's just say maybe the firstborn of the family, and he can't have kids. You know what they'll do? The family, and it will be a secret that will be kept forever. Nobody would ever know. They will take the younger brother or the second brother to that man, and then the brother would sleep with the woman, and they will have kids. Yeah, secretly. Only the family members would know. Certain family members, the younger brother would know because he's the one that made the kids. The mother, maybe, who's the mother-in-law of that girl, or maybe the certain uncles, and they will take it to the grave. The man would never know, because let's just say he's the firstborn of the family. They don't wanna, bring it into light that he can't make children, because then it was like a disgrace. You can't make kids. Yeah. But then the brother will step in, and the man will raise the children without even knowing. But sometimes I hear that the brother sometimes would know.
Did you say without knowing?
Without knowing is?
Who wouldn't know? The real husband?
The real husband. But the brother would know. And he would never call these kids his. He would always say, I'm the uncle.
So the husband would not know, right?
He would not know. But in certain instances, I hear that even the husband would know, but the kids probably wouldn't know. But they will raise them as their own children. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, the husband will know. The kids will grow.
And I think that's so sweet. In some ways, that's if the lady agrees.
Exactly. But then it wasn't a matter of you agreeing. It was a matter of, hey, we need this family to grow, and you will do whatever it takes for this family to grow, and you will do it.
But then how do they do it that the man would not know, the husband would not know?
You will go to work. Remember, in those days, they would maybe work in Johannesburg, and then this will happen in the rural KZN. He'll be in Johannesburg. His brother will come. They will have a special time, and then she'll fall pregnant, and the men will be told, those are your kids. And sometimes the men will try to scratch and say, hey, but that time this child was conceived, probably was a joke.
I was thinking so, because I'm like, okay, fine, then how does that work?
Or maybe they would know, they will say, you know what, we know that he comes every month. So you'll come on Friday. So you'll come probably on that Friday evening. They would expecting him, and then before probably he comes, the uncle will do his deeds, and then he will tap on top, or immediately after he leaves, the younger brother will come and tap so that he can collaborate. I'm sure they were smarter, because nobody will suspect. Now you find people with basket mount 20 years, 30 years, 40 years down the line. You see this child you created, and she's now a doctor, and probably maybe the so-called husband is dead, and you come and say, can you say, this is my child, I gave birth to a doctor. Now the secret comes out. But in an initial fact, nobody was supposed to know. It's a family secret. It's a secret. A lot of kids were born in that situation. A lot of them, and nobody asks anything, nobody says anything.
Really?
Yeah.
But I don't think
it's a family secret.
Would know. The father of the man would still know too. I think it might only be women, with the mothers that would know.
Sometimes it's even the father, because now this is his son. Probably, he didn't raise a son who, you know how proud certain nationals are. I know with Zulus, they're very proud people, and the father will probably know, but he was thinking, how can my child not reproduce? But I reproduced him. So to be something, maybe the father will be told, or he wouldn't be told. But somehow there's 2 or 3 people that knows about the secret, and they will die with it.
Wow.
They will die with it.
Okay, guys, I think that should really, mark the end of the, because if we continue here,
Yeah,
right,
it's not gonna
I
stop.
guess we're gonna spend the whole day here. And I promise you, man, this has been so fun. You don't want to know the story behind this thing here, right? Well, it's
We'll
okay,
share.
fine. It's a story for another day. But well, anyway, I really enjoy myself with you guys here today. Well, and then and it's been so wonderful and beautiful, talking about women and women's month and all that, and then maybe some guys are able to. I hope you were able to pick some 1 or 2 things that you might need to know about ladies, and I hope ladies are able also to pick what they were supposed to know about guys.
Exactly.
But well, if there are some things you feel you don't support, she said or I said, well, you can put your comments under here. We will read and we will definitely respond to you. Well, my name still remains KB and then
Tembi.
all right, and until see you next time, please subscribe,
Enjoy.
like and share, and then we'll see you next time.
Bye.